So what is an idea hunter? They have a passionate curiosity for learning, an appetite for knowing more. They search in all sorts of different places for new ideas. And every night that they go to bed a little bit smarter. And that's what an idea hunter is. And we're going to talk about the hunt for ideas. But before we talk about how to engage in the hunt for ideas, I'd like us to think for a minute about the power of ideas and what they mean. And this notion that not just at the firm level, but at a society level, ideas drive economic progress. And there's a gentleman by the name of Paul Romer. He was a professor of economics at Chicago, University of Chicago, Stanford, now NYU. And Romer's going to win a Nobel Prize. And about 10, 15 years ago, and I'm no economist, but about 10, 15 years ago, I was reading his articles, his work. It was in The Economist and so forth. And it was all about why some countries are more successful than others. And it was this notion of they're better and more effective at harnessing the power of ideas. And essentially, this is what Romer says. They discover ideas, and very importantly, as you will see, they repurpose ideas that already exist, because idea hunting is about finding ideas, not creating original ideas. So ideas drive progress, and just some quick examples. Here's one. The assembly line. Mass production. It all came together, put together by Henry Ford, and he had a vision. Affordable transportation for the masses. So how is that going to happen? Well, interchangeable parts, et cetera, et cetera. He harnessed a bunch of existing ideas, but he needed some new ones. And one of the key new ones that he came up with was the notion of the movement of the cars down the assembly line. Where did he get that particular idea? He was visiting meat packaging plants and meat preparation plants in Chicago. What was happening in those plants? Huge carcasses of beef were being moved down the line, and they were being disassembled into the beef that we eat. And Ford saw that and said, wait a minute, if you can move very heavy carcasses of beef, I can move automobiles down an assembly line. So the disassembly of those carcasses of beef led to one of the key ingredients for creating the assembly line. And since then, industry after industry after industry, service and manufacturing of like, have taken those notions to create high-quality, standardized products at a price that millions and millions of Americans and now people around the world could afford. Another idea, or several ideas, that influenced progress were in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Where did Jefferson get those ideas? He didn't get them thinking in Monticello and spending all his time there in Virginia. He got his ideas by spending time in Europe, in the Netherlands, in France. He came back with those ideas. He created this document which embodies those ideas. That document affects all of us and the aspirations that we have, and has affected societies around the world. McDonald's. It was the 1950s, massive mobility, post-World War, highways being built, families going on vacation. Kroc said, what if I can have bathrooms and clean bathrooms around the highways of America? What can I serve? What can I do to make money? He came up with the idea of McDonald's. The hamburger wasn't the idea. It was how to make hamburgers. And he wouldn't have done this, by the way, if Ford hadn't broken through with his ideas about mass production, because essentially that's what this is applied to the food industry. Google. 2 or 3 smart people said, how do we search the internet? Everybody here uses Google, I presume, or has at one point. And finally, a coffee cup with a lid. You're probably thinking now, what does this have to do with big ideas and economic progress? Well, it's not a big idea. But the point that Romer makes about economic progress being driven by ideas, it's not just the big ideas. It's a few big ideas like we've witnessed, and it's thousands of small ideas like this one. And what this idea was somebody had the idea that we could create one size lid for the different size coffee cups in coffee shops. One size lid, different size cups. That the materials would allow that to happen. So in many coffee shops now, one lid, many size cups. Who cares? Well, think about it. less material being used, less setup time in the coffee shop by the staff, so time is saved, less space on the counter, easier for customers. They don't have to sift through and figure out what lid fits on the cup. So that small idea has helped coffee shop owners around the world and customers do work a little bit better. And that idea has moved around the world. And another key point is that idea moves around absolutely for free. Most ideas are not under some intellectual property and patents and so forth. They're available out there for free.